So like, I mean, it's a beautiful thing when you can really like understand where these energy unbalances come from, like from your everyday experience. Like if you're doing something a certain way, like for me personally, like I didn't know that it was a full moon in Gemini necessarily, but with the energies that I was feeling, you know, a week before, maybe 2 weeks before, there were certain things that were just, I saw it all coming together. You know, sometimes we have the ability, or a lot of us have the ability just to see the big picture. And that's kind of what this full moon is about, being able to see the big picture from, you know, a shadow aspect as well as a higher self aspect, and just being able to integrate both in, as we have been putting in the work, as we have been, you know, doing these things day in and day out. And like I've said too, we manifest every day, you know, whether it's a little thing or big thing, but you know, we gotta have gratitude for those manifestations, and we gotta focus those things in which we manifest, because if you're not, you know, if you're not in your alignment, if you're getting out of balance, then you could so-called accidentally manifest something that's non-beneficial. So that's why it's important to stay in tune with yourself, stay in tune with your highest self. And you know, sometimes you just gotta let the energies be too. It's like it's not about trying to direct the current necessarily, but I mean, you're definitely gonna pave your own path no matter what. But at the same time too, you kind of gotta go with the flow, like play the cards you were dealt. But you never know, those cards could change, those cards could get better, they could get worse. But by all means, you gotta play the game to know where you're going, I guess you could say. Yeah, and it's just important to understand our being and take the time to do the shadow work. You know, as rough as it could be sometimes, you know, like even in the beneficial things that we bring into our life, you can kind of see where when you manifest something beneficial, you can see like a shadow aspect that could be holding you back, a shadow aspect that needs to be resolved. And it's better just to face it head on rather than trying to run away from it, because when you run away from it, you know, we can grow to become this big monster that takes just that much more time, just that much more effort, just to you know, heal or cleanse or get rid of, or not necessarily get rid of, but like transmute, I guess you could say. So you know, it's always better to face things head on. And like with that too, like it's to each his own. It's gonna be easier for some, it's gonna be harder for some, but by all means, never give up. As well as, you know, like with these energies, you know, like I said, I'm doing this a little bit later than I expected. So, but I was just catching the vibe lately, coming up with these so-called Thanksgiving, these fake ass holidays. But anyways, these energies coming up. It's not about like thinking about like the past scars or like what had happened to like the ancestors, as far as like a blood level or bodysuit level, or even like a spiritual level. But it's about like being able to heal these things, because it's bringing in a lot of healing energy, a lot of energy where you can integrate those shadows and be, you know, it was an experience, these things happen, they happen for a reason, but it's not like we're holding on to it, we're letting it go. That's the vibe that I've been catching lately. You know, it's just a deep healing for the ancestors. The ancestors within us, because they are within us. But at the same time too, you know, there's manifestations where we have like visions or catch certain vibes, or even like reminders of like words, or you know, whatever it be of the ancestors, like maybe something that somebody told you, you know, actually like just something that reminds them of your ancestors some way, shape or form, whether you knew them or not. Because it could be an ancestor that was, you know, like a couple generations before you, that you might have met before they transitioned in the life, in, you know, as far as like a bodysuit lifetime. Or maybe ancestors that you never even met, that go way back, but you have that deep connection because you know it's a part of you. And you know, it's like that feeling of you just know. I'm just going off my notes here, and you know, got something here. Transmuting a scar. Let go of the ashes. Let go of the ashes of the past. Hold on, let me reread that. Transmuting a scar. Let the ashes of the past drift and settle. Embrace the new. relationships and allow yourself to open up. So yeah, that's what it's really about too. Is, you know, it's like it's a good time to build upon these relationships. You know, Gemini does deal with the twins, so not only the twin within yourself, but also the twin on an external level. You know, as so within, so without, as above, so below. You know. So like this might be a like an interesting time where you might meet your twin flame, or just really have the opportunity to strengthen a relationship within your life that you've already manifested, and it's already come forth, and it's just starting to grow and grow and grow, so it can become more of like a twin flame type vibe, or maybe even on a deeper level like a soulmate type vibe. You know, the sacred bond between masculine and feminine, you know, those other energies coming forward. Like once you get those, your masculine and feminine within your universe, you know, just in harmony, then you can, you know, have an, you know, your reflection, your external masculine and feminine come in, and then that creates a whole nother energy, if that makes sense. I know my words are getting a little bit tangled, but it's all good. And with that being too, like, with that being said, like, you know, just letting things go and embrace new relationships, and allow yourself to open up. You're allowing yourself to open up when you truly feel somebody's energy, when you truly feel their spirit, when you know there's a bond, even though that person is like a stranger or something on the external level. There's like this, there's just like that energetic bond, like where you knew that person from a previous life, or knew that person because they're part of your soul family, like, or something along these lines. So it's like that sacred connection, and you know, we all gonna have like that, like even if it doesn't make sense as far as like the human aspect, you gotta let that human shit go. You just gotta let it go, and you know, if you really feel their energy, then by all means, you know, value that relationship and build upon that relationship. If it truly resonates with you, that is. Yeah, and with that being said, you know, if you really feel somebody's energy, if you really feel that spiritual bond, the spiritual connection, like like a reflection of you on a deep level, then by all means, if it's meant to be, it'll be, you know, and let it flow, and you know, where it goes is where it goes. If it goes on a deep level, then cool. If it doesn't go on a deep level, I mean, but with that energy at hand too, like if you really feel somebody, then you know it's gonna be a deep friendship, a twin flame type vibe where you can collaborate on ideas, create, you know, with your two energies, with your two universes being at hand, it creates a whole nother energy that strengthens that bond even more. You know what I mean? As well as, you know, that can even manifest or become into a creation of like a soulmate type vibe, where like, you know, you have your divine masculine, divine feminine within you, and you're a representation of one of these on the external as far as your bodysuit, and then you have your reflection on a bodysuit level, and those two energies come together, that masculine and feminine comes together, creates a whole new thing. You have, you know, on an energetic level, like certain ideas, certain things like this, certain creations on an energetic level, as well as like on a physical level, to where you can manifest like a child, or you know what I mean, you know how it goes. But anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of like going off these notes here. I don't know if everything's coming through as clear as I want it to be, but I'm just letting it flow how it's gonna go. And with that being said too, like, there's just an importance during this full moon just to let go. Like I said, with every full moon, it's like a realization, you know, the fruition of your seeds that you planted during that new moon. But it's also a time to, you know, let go of the old, you know, burn the bridges that you have to burn if need be, you know. And, you know, it's important to never acknowledge non-beneficial energy, whether it's a person, place, or thing. Never acknowledge anything that makes you feel unaligned. By all means, if it comes up, if it's in your face, if some type of negativity, something that's, or non-beneficial energy that is in your face, or, you know, within your environment, take the time to do that shadow work. Take the time to find out where that energy is coming from, to find out what exactly is not balanced, what exactly did this spoiled seed stem from. Was it your thoughts? Was it a certain feeling? Was it a certain thing that got underneath your skin a little bit? You know, don't focus on it, but definitely reflect on it. And by doing this, you'll figure out exactly where it's coming from. You know, being able to meditate on it real quick, let it go, and then keep it moving. You know, it's important for us to truly focus on the things that are beneficial within our lives, and just keep it moving from there. And truly, you know, place value, and you know, not only express and communicate these things as far as like on a physical level, like if you have a relationship with somebody and you really value their presence, their energy, and all this, by all means let them know, because it's a beautiful thing just to be, you know, real with people, just to let people know exactly what's going on. At the same time too, you know, like not everything is meant to be expressed, but everything has its own moment. Everything has its perfect timing, so to speak. Yeah, and like I said too, like just jumping back into this real quick, I got a side note. Release all that human shit, even if it doesn't make sense in your head. Like if you're getting like I said, don't get tangled up in the web of the mind. But at the same time too, like don't be too in the physical about something, or don't be too much on your human stuff to like it doesn't make sense, so I gotta wait. That's not the case. Air is like really detached, you know, it's a great element to detach, but at the same time too, with this energy that's at hand, it's telling you that things are gonna be light, so let it be how it's gonna be, let it flow how it's gonna go. And even if it doesn't make sense in logic, even if it doesn't make sense within your head, if you truly feel it on an energetic level, on a spiritual level, then go with it. You know, let it develop how it's going to be. You know, water that seed so you can see it come to fruition. And by that fruit, you'll know exactly, you know, how much farther you want to take it. Or if you want to bring it back, or if you only want to keep it at a certain level, you know, by all means, it's up to you. It's up to us. Nobody can tell us what to do about it. Hold on, man. I don't know even if this thing's recording, but whatever. But that being said too, you know, it is dealing a lot with Jupiter energy. And so I was actually watching a video on this, you know, just to get a better representation of the planets they're you know, carrying this energy, as well as, you know, putting in their own energies. So Jupiter and Mercury, so Mercury is going to be all about, you know, that intellect to a certain level, you know, kind of being up in your head, as it does rule Gemini. And Jupiter is a co-ruler to Gemini. So Jupiter, there's something I wanted to put. Jupiter represents expansion of wisdom, knowledge, meaningful connections, as well as like collaboration. So, you know, whatever you learn from, whether that's, you know, your environment, you know, being able to visually learn, you know, learning through audio, whatever it be, like maybe that sounds like a too physical type level, but just however you choose to expand your knowledge, you know, whatever really interests you, your way of learning, I guess you could say, your way of gaining knowledge from a certain person, place, or thing, as well as those collaborations. I mean, it always starts first and foremost within us, but it also correlates to a physical level, like a reflection of us, like another person or a certain environment that we're in, or even like a thing that we've manifested within this moment, within the past, or that we will manifest in the future. And with this too, like Gemini really deals with dualities, because like the twin energy, you know, the two lungs, the two hands, just with the duality energies, one might be more dominant than the other. Something might be equal. Like for some of us, for example, like I'm ambidextrous, so like some of us might have, these dual natures already within us, but it's all about mastering your duality, your light and your dark, your positive and your negative, your beneficial sides to both, and your non-beneficial sides to both, and being able to truly be able to pierce that veil, first and foremost within, being able to balance yourself, but also being able to balance things on the external level. Whether that's from experience, helping somebody else with their type things. Like it's always nice to have a helping hand, reach out to somebody, have somebody reach out to you, but at the same time too, it's like you don't want to put all your coins in one pot or something like that, because you never want to give too much and you never want to give too little. You want to have that perfect balance. But it's like what you do with it is up to you. No one can really tell you, like, you got to do this here. Nah, that's not it. But yeah, okay. Getting back into this real quick. Catching a vibe about like creating connections on a deep level and being able to kind of like pull in, or like, I don't know if that's the best word, but pull in and collaborate with the soul tribe, like strengthen that soul tribe connection, strengthen that spirit tribe connection, to where you can kind of just, it's basically like you kicking it every day. Like even if you don't live in like the same area, it's like you can either telepathically communicate or verbally express something on this level, and just be your true authentic self around your soul tribe, I guess you could say. I don't know if that exactly makes sense, but it's kind of the vibe that I was catching, and how it's just an expansion of abundance. And like I was saying earlier, that abundance thing could be good or bad, because it's those expanding winds. It's expanding that positive or negative. It's expanding both. So that's why it's important just to focus on those beneficial things. Expand your abundance that's beneficial for you and the collective as well. Just like, but it all starts within. I don't mean to say you or I or anything like on an egotistical level. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about our inner being, our spirit connection, the higher self within each all of us. It's like you got to work on yourself first and get yourself right, your inner self right, before you can help anybody else. You got to fill your own cup, and then you can give everybody else a little sip. Something like that. At the same time too, like another thing is, Gemini is an air sign, so you gotta have, it's kind of like that back and forth connection, like I always say, like that expansion and contraction. But in this case, it's almost dealing with like space, being able to have your sacred space where you can be alone, and being able to have that space where you can just, like I said, collaborate with your soul tribe, being able to be yourself authentically and not be judged, and not judge yourself either. The worst thing is to actually judge yourself. That's way worse than any other form of judgment. Other people can judge you, and they can scratch you, maybe, or they can maybe leave a scar, maybe. But the worst type of judgment is when you judge yourself too much, when you're too harsh on yourself, and then you end up breaking your own foundation or walls down before you even get the structure up, or before you even, you know what I mean? It's something along those lines. But yeah, space is key, whether on an internal level as well as like on an external level. And this is all dealing with relationships, so being able to have that sacred bond as well as that sacred space where you can kind of like detach, not being too not having like too tight of a grip on anything. You gotta be able to hold on to things, but you also gotta be able to let go of things, being able to attach and detach. And with that being said, for each of us, it's gonna be a little bit different. Some people like to be more attached. Some people like to be a little bit more detached. It's all up to you, really. Also, I was thinking about, I don't know exactly how it goes, and I don't want to like slaughter the information or be misleading with it, but I remember like an interview where Bob Marley said something like, well, who really cares about me? Or like something along these lines. I don't remember the exact thing, but that type of idea, I thought of that, and then I was thinking about how, like, who really cares about me, and who really cares about you? When we truly care about one another and value each other's presence and energy, there's no questions to be asked. It's like you don't want to put too much of your logic in any one little given thing. If it's meant to be, it'll be. If you really value something, if you really care about somebody, you're gonna show it. You're gonna see it on an action level. You're gonna be able to feel it. It's gonna be real. It's not gonna be like somebody talking about something like, oh, I care about you because blah, blah, blah. No, like fuck all your, like I said, fuck all your human shit. Fuck all your, like, who cares about this human shit? Don't get too tangled up in the human shit. Yes, it's gotta have some structure, some logic, and some things like this. I mean, so yes, you gotta pull it in a little bit, but it's more so about like the feeling, the value of the energies. If your energies really match up well. And this is all done with relationships, first and foremost within, and then secondary on the external, with our reflections, with those people, the places, or things that we manifest within our lives. And with that being said too, like relationships, just to get into that real quick, it can be, a female in your life, a male in your life that, is a friend, or like it could be a friend level, like a female that's a friend, a male that's a friend, as well as like a certain place that you have like a strong bond to, like the energies are good there, and whenever you're there, you catch certain vibes that are beneficial for you, beneficial to your growth, as well as like a certain thing, like whether it's a crystal, whether it's a type of necklace, whether it's like a little, it could be like the littlest thing that you find, and if it really helps you some way, shape, or form, if it's a tool to deprogram and reprogram your subconscious for a beneficial aspect for you to get more in tune with yourself, by all means, flow with it. But yeah, it's just I'm in a relationship level. I've seen up to this point, I felt up to this point, how it's really important to not only create relationships with the opposite sex, as far as like friends, like have like a female that's a really strong friend and a male that's a really strong friend, but also too, like, with this energy, I've just been catching vibes lately, how it's really strong about how you're gonna have that twin flame come up, and this relationship is gonna be all about how you roll them dice. It's like, do you really want to develop this relationship? Do you really want to see where it goes, or do you just want to cut it off before you even give it a chance? Like, really, that's up to you. I mean, who knows where it's really gonna go, but it's worth the shot. Roll them dice. Alright, and just like basically to end this off, I think I mentioned already, but it's like the twins within, the twins without. So the twins on your inner level, the power for harmonizing the energies, and it's like an amplification process to what we've already dedicated our focus towards along our spiritual journey. As these last couple new moons, full moons that come up, I've spoken in the past, I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but about how we're harmonizing our energy, creating balance, and basically having like our higher self and our shadow self integrating these energies to know that we have our yin and yang, we have our divine feminine and our divine masculine. Feminine always comes first, masculine always comes second, but on energetic levels, it could be vice versa either way. But it's important to have your inner harmony first and foremost, because that's where everything comes about. And then the twins on the external level or without level, like I was saying with reflections, togetherness and meeting your twin flame, creating strengthening energies. It's an important time to do this. It's an important time, and in some way, shape, or form, you're gonna get a strong urge to do this. Whether it's building upon a relationship, ending a relationship, letting something go. It's gonna be different, a little bit different for all of us, but in some way, it's gonna play to these energies. And like I said too, it's important to have gratitude and appreciation for each other's presence and being able to have that strong connection and that attachment, but at the same time too, being able to let go and detach as needed, because we have our own universe within us. We got to get our own universe in harmony, having that perfect balance, so to speak, as we will see these reflections of us, and then that's when those energies can come together to create, an even stronger energy, a whole new perspective, a collaboration. So collaborations are really important at this time too. It's like two avatars collaborating and creating a whole new energy. To give a quick shout out to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Fully realized Avatar. You're gonna be able to utilize your elements as needed. You're gonna be able to, know yourself to know others. You gotta know what works in your favor. You gotta know what doesn't work in your favor. But by all means, too, it's not about like there's no manipulation or anything like that. It's about being true to yourself, walking your true path, and being able to, heal yourself as well as heal others, and just be confident within your own bodysuit. But yeah, got another little side note here, just knowing thyself, knowing thy twin, and knowing thy spiritual harmony. So knowing yourself first and foremost, as you will manifest these beneficial people in your lives. Don't hold back, don't be ashamed, embrace, those twin flames, those people that really, that you really feel on an energetic level, knowing thy twin and know who those people are that you've manifested into your life, and then being able to have that balance within yourself to communicate these new ideas, these new type things, these things that are so-called a little bit far out, so to speak, so you can have that spiritual harmony within yourself with that other person. They can create a whole new little cycle idea, whether it's an idea, something creative on a like an energetic level, like that energy exchange, a sacred energy exchange, aka sex, of energetic type of level, like creating a new idea, like I was mentioning, or like on a physical level, that if you're really feeling a female, and vice versa for the females to males, like if you're really feeling that female and she becomes a twin flame, like you're really feeling her energy, you can feel that essence of like knowing from a previous life, that by all means, let that be shown. It can develop into a soulmate, or it can stay at a twin flame. But either way, that's going to be a person that you truly feel, as you are within tune yourself. That person that is in your life is also in tune, and it's a very important thing. Like, especially I've seen it, and that's why I take these notes. And I've seen it not only within my life, seen it through experience, and been feeling these vibes. But it's just like becoming more and more like apparent about how important it is to have these beneficial relationships, these beneficial circumstances where we can just be ourselves and collaborate ideas, really express these things in deep truth, whether there's a book written on it or not. Just being able to collaborate these ideas, collaborate with somebody else's ideas, and bringing these whole new things into fruition, these whole new things into the physical, to bring either beneficial healing, a beneficial perspective, being able to create new music or something, or even like write a new book with these things to help other people down the line, whatever it be. But yeah, it's about the divine feminine and divine masculine within, and the divine masculine and feminine without, on the external, as above so below. Inner and outer worlds collide to create a whole new divine experience, I guess you could say, as well. Yeah, with that being said, I didn't really write down any crystal recommendations, but just to jump into it really quick, I feel like tiger's eye would be a good one, because it does deal with duality to a certain extent, and it more so it deals with like balancing and just like happiness and like movement, being able to freely move how you feel need be, I guess you could say. So I feel like tiger's eye would be a very beneficial one to work with, as well as it's going to be protection from non-beneficial energy. So like, and like, as these crystals are a reflection of us in the first place, when you deal with your shadow self, it's kind of like that's kind of the part where you have, I guess, the least amount of protection, but at the same time it's you, so you can't be as scared of your lower natures. You can't be scared of yourself. You got to be able to embrace yourself. You got to be able to be real with yourself to be real with anybody else. That's what I feel like this new moon is really about. And by all means, we've been manifesting beautiful things, so let's keep them coming. Let's keep them moving. But yeah, tiger's eye would be a very beneficial crystal to work with. I feel like, I always mention like a certain type of quartz. Any quartz would be good to work with, but I feel like amethyst would be a very beneficial one to work with, especially if you pair it with tiger's eye, because that's kind of dealing with that intuitive instinct, being able to intuitively see things and intuitively feel things from an instinctual type level, I guess you could say, as well. So not only dealing with your first eye, but dealing with your solar plexus. So being able to see the things, being able to pierce that veil, see the truth within every experience, but also being able to move, take action on the things that are beneficial, and being able to cut those things that are not beneficial. So that could be a very beneficial combination to work with. Basically just any like air element type crystal, any fire type element type crystal, because it is going to deal with, see, this new moon is dealing with the full moon in Gemini. We got some Sagittarius energy type coming in, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So that's an important one to work with. And it also deals with like, I don't know the exact little things of everything, that's why I don't want to be misleading with it, but I think it deals with a square in the water signs. I think it's Cancer, and also deals with some Scorpio energy as well. So it is going to be like I said, like that dark aspect as well, being able to deal and heal with your shadow self, but also it's going to bring up sometimes like a web of emotion if you let it go that far. But if you can see a little bit in advance, and you kind of know how to play these energies, or how to heal these energies, or utilize these energies in your favor, so that way you're not stumbling on the ice or getting washed away by the waves, you know what I mean? But yeah, so just any crystal that deals with all the elements in general. This one doesn't actually have a lot of earth type energy, so it might be beneficial to work with like a black tourmaline, or petrified wood, or a garnet, or just something that's a little bit, or like a smoky quartz actually might be one of the most beneficial too to work with, because that also deals with that wisdom from the unseen, being able to integrate your shadow self, heal your shadow self aspects that need healing for those certain scars, but also being able to have that protection and that transmutation of energies if need be. Like if something is a little bit too out of balance, you'll know exactly what you need to do to get back in balance, whether it's meditation, vibing out in nature, getting your negative ions, your focus on breath, being able to transmute those energies just by your breath, in through the nose, out through the nose, letting the cycle flow through all your chakra energy pools. Some way, shape, or form, maybe getting your nutrition in balance is something, whatever it be. So, I feel it'd be very beneficial to work with some more earthy type crystals. But as well as like you don't want to be too like, you want to be able to spiritually ground yourself, as well as you want to be able to spiritually vibe up all the way to the cosmos. Just vibe as high as you want to go, basically. And all these energies within us. I always mention crystals because they're a very beneficial tool to work with. But it's to each his own. If you want to work with it, that's great. If you don't want to work with it, that's great too. By all means, do you. I was kind of thinking about some other things too, like I don't know what other ones I want to recommend at this time, but I might do another like little side video on it. I think I'm gonna start with that for now. So yeah, tiger's eye, amethyst, smoky quartz, any type of quartz really in general could be beneficial. Black tourmaline, even some selenite might be very beneficial if it resonates with you, as well as like any storm element type zodiac crystal if it resonates with you. As well as I always recommend rainbow moonstone or malachite to work with, because it deals very much so with the divine feminine, as well as it deals with the moon energy as well. And with that being said too, like after, like here's a recommendation I can guarantee, like after, let the realizations of the full moon come forth, and then after that when it starts to shed, be able to release things, work with crystals that can help release, as well as crystals that can spring you into action. Whether that be, like I said, a smoky quartz, black tourmaline, selenite, spring in action with citrine or something like that. But all these crystals are going to resonate with an energy pool, multiple energy pools that is, but they're all going to have a place of home. And all this energy starts within, so by all means get yourself in tune and everything will flow naturally. So peace, and harmony. I know everybody doing their thing, staying in tune, living a better life on the high heart frequency. Yeah, until next time, all the time, peace.